Adam Kinzinger just got back from Guantanamo Bay. He joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here.
And I should say that as President Bush also released people, but as we get closer down the numbers, we get to the more dangerous ones, or most dangerous ones. What was Gitmo like?
You know, it kind of blew my expectations away. I would probably compare it to just a prison in the United States. People are treated very humanely. They're treated very well.
That's not necessarily true. I've been to some prisons in the U.S. They can be pretty tough.
Yeah, actually, I think they're treated better than they are in prisons in the United States. And you know, anytime they want to have prayer time, that goes uninterrupted. They get time to go outside. They're treated very well. You know, it's not, honestly, it's not something you and I would ever want to be in. It's a prison. It's not fun. But you go and you look at it, and there's no doubt that these people are being treated according to the Geneva Convention, even beyond that. And by the way, they don't deserve Geneva Convention protections. It's out of the kindness of our heart and what we do as a country that we give them that.
Were you able to communicate to any of them directly?
No, we weren't.
Is that because the military won't let you do that?
It's because a lot of them are kept in isolation. Some of the bad actors are kept in isolation, and some are actually kept.
Is it solitary?
Some can be, if they're bad actors, they can be kept in solitary. But no, we weren't allowed to interact with them. And part of it is because you think about it from their perspective. They're in prison. We want to treat them well, according to the Geneva Convention, and they don't necessarily want to be a
They don't want to be a petting suit.
Exactly.
All right. Did you talk to any of the what would be a correctional officer in a prison?
Yeah.
And did they indicate anything about, you know, that anything about the prisoners at all? Whether they seem like wanting to go back to the fight or not wanting to go back to the fight?
Look, let me tell you, the people that run that prison, they're Army Guardsmen, Army Reservists, other branches. These are fantastic Americans that put themselves really in harm's way. They're really in a battlefront, because these prisoners do things called splashings, where they splash body fluids on them all the time. And so you have two prisoners. You have those that are very defiant and do things like that, and then you have those that are very, I guess, peaceful. But the reason they're peaceful is because they're manipulating. They're in there manipulating, trying to figure out how to get these lower level folks to act out. So every one of them, in talking to the leadership there, they go, look, there is no doubt that every one of these people here would kill you if given the opportunity, and I have very little doubt they'd go back on the battlefield.
So what do you recommend, that we keep this forever, or move them to the United States, or what?
I think we have to keep it open for now. We're in a very dangerous point in the war on terror now. It seems to be flaring up again. There's no doubt that if we release them back into the wild, they're going to go back to the battlefield, and they go back with hero status too, because now they survived Gitmo. So I think it's important to keep in mind. So in World War II, you know, we had enemy detainees, and we kept them for the duration of the war. We didn't know if World War II could have gone on for 10 or 15 years. That's the nature of warfare. So I think keeping them incarcerated for the duration of this war is important. There are some military tribunals that are occurring. People's cases are being adjudicated. But in the long run, there's a lot of very high-value detainees that would be a very bad position if they were let back free.
Typically, we put people domestically in solitary if they are acting horrible. I mean, if they're like beating up the guards and they're causing. Are we holding these people, the ones who are in solitary, because they are troublemakers at Gitmo, or because we thought that they were troublemakers before they got to Gitmo?
It's because they're troublemakers at Gitmo. Okay. In fact, some of the high-value targets who were some of the worst people, or the high-value detainees, actually have some of the best living circumstances, because they go there and they behave well, because they find their skill to be more manipulation.
Secretary Hagel told Barbara Starr at CNN that the White House was displeased at the slow pace of Gitmo releases. Do you think that's why he's getting the heave-ho from DOD, or not?
I think that's part of it. I think Secretary Hagel's probably made very clear his displeasure with how Iraq and Syria were going, his displeasure with Gitmo, and this president doesn't take very well to criticism. He's got very thin skin. And so somebody in your administration is not happy with you, you're going to let them go. So right decision or wrong, you know, we'll let that play out. But, you know, the point is Gitmo needs to be open for now, as long as this war on terror is continuing.
Well, it would be better if the president would talk to people on Capitol Hill than sort of like we get talked through. Like the media talks to us, we talk to him, he talks to, I mean, not to us, but to some. I mean, it's like, it really would be helpful in this whole Gitmo issue.
Greta, I've met the president twice in my life. He's from my state, and both times I met him, we're in a receiving line. That's not a good relationship with Congress, and I've been here for 5 years.
Congressman, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you. Good to be here.